Ruslana Korshunova, the Russian Rapunzel, whose beauty captivated the world, suddenly disappeared. Was it the pressure of the fashion industry, a failed love, or some hidden secret? The truth behind her death still shakes every heart to this day. They called her the Russian Rapunzel, a girl whose story was as beautiful as her appearance, with hair that flowed down to her knees, shining as if it had stepped out of a fairy tale. She wasn't just walking the runways of Paris and New York. She was the living face of Nina Ricci, a symbol shining brightly in the world of fashion. British Vogue described her as an energetic, captivating face that drew every gaze. She was magic in front of the camera, a girl whose smile held dreams and whose eyes were filled with secrets. In every scene, in every photograph, she was not merely a model. She was a story, a feeling, a moment that lived on with time. Behind those flawless, radiant images was a story no one could have imagined. A heartbreaking tale filled with unanswered questions and ending in a way that still rattles anyone who hears it. This was not just the story of a model, but the story of a girl who reached the stars only to fall into a dark abyss. What really happened to Ruslana Korshunova? Was it the merciless pressure of the fashion world, hiding behind every smile? Was it a failed love that shattered her heart, or a secret self-help group promising transformation but leaving only wounds and pain? Or perhaps something even darker, still hidden behind the curtains? These questions continue to echo, haunting the glamorous world of fashion, reminding us how delicate the lines behind beauty can be. To understand her story, we must return to the beginning of her extraordinary life. Almaty, Kazakhstan, a city whose cold winds and snowy mountains marked her upbringing. Ruslana grew up here as an intelligent and determined girl, far from the glimmering pages of Vogue. Life's hardships and family labor were her foundation, a small town filled with children's laughter, snowy mountains, and a girl whose eyes were curious about the world, whose heart carried hopes ready to spread wings. Ruslana Korshunova was the youngest in her family, raised by a mother, Valentina, after the tragic death of her father, Sergei, a strong man who had served in the Red Army when Ruslana was just 6. His death devastated the family, and grief spread through every corner. Valentina, an extremely hardworking and practical woman, became the pillar of strength, protecting her family from every storm. Ruslana inherited that same quiet power, a strength reflected in her eyes, hidden in her smile, and visible in every gesture, helping her stand firm against life's unexpected twists. At school, Ruslana stood out not just for her beauty, but for her intelligence. She shone in the classroom, making others see her as someone special. She spoke 4 languages: Kazakh, Russian, English, and German, not merely words but keys opening doors to the world. Ruslana dreamt not of modeling, but of studying in Germany, where new worlds of knowledge awaited her. She was a young girl lost in books, traveling through words, strengthening herself with each new language. She was also artistic, sensitive, and deeply curious about the world. In her free time, she played the piano, sang, and wrote poetry, reflecting her romantic heart and intellect, perhaps about love, dreams, the beauty of the world, or pain. This creative spirit made her a complete personality, not just a beautiful face, but a profound heart. These were the moments when she poured her inner world onto paper, sensing that something greater in life awaited her. Modeling began by chance. At 15, the head of her school's German club asked her to pose for a local magazine, a simple moment, perhaps even a joke. But Ruslana agreed. The photographs, taken in Almaty's botanical gardens, were stunning. Lush greenery, blooming flowers, her long hair flowing in the wind, almond-shaped eyes, and delicate, storybook-like beauty. These images were more than photographs, they were magic. Photographer Boris Brule said there was a sparkle in her eyes, an innocence, a presence even the camera could not hide. The photos were published in Flight magazine, and Tatiana Cherednikova immediately recognized that this girl could become a star. She sought out the family, but Valentina was hesitant. In her mother's eyes, modeling was dangerous and unstable. Yet Ruslana's passion and determination persuaded Valentina to allow her, on the condition that she accompany her on the first trip. This was a mother's love, walking beside her at every step. Ruslana signed in London, where senior booker Debbie Jones said she looked as if she had stepped out of a fairy tale. Her cat-like green eyes captivated everyone, eyes that were not just a color but a story, a secret, a magic that set her apart. Ruslana's story reminds us how delicate beauty can be. She will always be remembered as the Russian Rapunzel, a story that does not end. Her rise and sudden fall touched every heart, teaching us that behind external beauty lie complexities, sensitivities, struggles, dreams, and pain. Her youth, early experiences, school days, family struggles, creative abilities, artistic emotions, first modeling photos, ambitions in London's bright cities. Every moment, feeling, fear, hope, hidden desire, every fashion show light, every press photo, every booker's compliment, every step she took with confidence. All of it intertwines in one continuous journey, told in a single flowing narrative. It presents a complete, comprehensive, emotional, and authentic portrait of Ruslana Korshunova's life, her dreams, challenges, and extraordinary personality. And it serves as a reminder that behind every dazzling face lies a deep human struggle, hopes, and a story filled with pain.